Hi there, Tad Hargrave coming to you live from the St. Catharines Mall. So I've seen it a lot where people become a coach or a healer, and then they see ads from other coaches or healers or whoever, and they say, "Oh my God, don't let me become one of those. Don't let people see me as one of those kinds of coaches or healers." And it's an understandable feeling, but of course it's a huge block because then you're driven by your fear. It's like when you take driving lessons, they tell you if you go into a skid, where do you look? You don't look at the thing you're scared of hitting because that will drive you into it. You have to look at the road. Even though it seems counter, you want to look at the thing to avoid it, but by looking at it, you're drawn to it. And when you look at the road, somehow your body unconsciously responds and you turn in that direction. So it's the same in marketing. If you try to guide yourself by what you fear, you're kind of hooped. Yeah. If you try to guide yourself by how you don't want to be seen, how you don't want to come across, how you don't want to be one of those people, it will either stop you entirely, you just won't be able to move, so you won't do any marketing, then you're broke, or you end up becoming some other version of it because you've been focusing on that and you try too hard, which then has you come across that way. Yeah. So here's what to do. If you find yourself with that fear of, oh my God, I see these people with the dancing TikTok videos pointing at things and singing, and you don't want to be that, or you don't want to have one of these cheesy videos, or whatever your judgment is. Here are the steps. And by the way, there's in my starter kit, there's a workbook that can walk you through this in much more detail. If you go to marketingforhippies.com/starter-kit, and just go to my website, you'll find it pretty easy. And it's called Where to Start. But let me walk you through the steps. The first step, just get real with yourself. There's a way that you don't want to be. There's a way that you're scared of coming across. There's words you would never want people to say in relation to your marketing. Oh, that's so cheesy, corny, sleazy, pushy, dopey, sleepy. There's certain words you don't want them to say. So first of all, make that list. What are all the words that you would just be so horrified? You'd be so mortified if somebody ever said them about your marketing. That's number one. Number two, go through that list and pick the 3 that are the worst. It's like you could deal with the other ones, but if anyone ever said your marketing is sleazy and desperate and pushy, you would just want to quit. Like if you heard the word on the street was that's how people saw your marketing, you just want to give up. Make that list, pick the top 3. So that's step number 1, list. Step 2, top 3. Step 3, take those top 3 words you would never want anyone to say about your business and consider what's the opposite. So let's say sleazy, pushy, desperate. So what's the opposite of sleazy? Well, maybe the opposite of sleazy is genuine. And what's the opposite of pushy? Maybe the opposite of pushy is gracious or courteous. So let's just say it's courteous. So now we've got genuine, courteous, and then desperate. What's the opposite of desperate? Maybe self-respecting. Something like that. So then it's okay, I want my marketing to be genuine, courteous, and self-respecting, or integrity filled, or something like that. Then that's how you navigate the marketing world. Is any marketing you ever do in the future, you run by those 3 words. Is this self-respecting? Is this courteous? Is this the other word, And it's so helpful because you can say, is it this or not? But you can also say, how could I make this more self-respecting? How could I make it more courteous? How could I make it more genuine? And you'd be amazed what this does to your marketing. It sounds too simple. It sounds like such a kindergarten exercise. But I promise you, when you figure out what those words are for yourself, it gives you a North Star. It gives you, the point to follow in your compass, a direction to go. So it's not the finer points of marketing. Of course, there's a lot more to marketing, but this gives you the kind of fundament. How do you want the marketing to feel to yourself and to them? So if you have that feeling of, I don't want to become those people, don't be driven by that. Notice it. That's important. You don't want to become like those people, but what do you mean those people? What is it about those people that drives you nuts? Get very clear about that and then figure out the opposite. So hopefully that's helpful. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for everyone who subscribes to these videos on YouTube and everyone who shares them up in your Facebook groups or on your Facebook profile or pages. I'm very grateful. and marketingforhippies.com and at marketingforhippies on Instagram. See you around.